Happy Friday. I am so happy to be doing another one of these. It's something to look forward to, just to connect with people and to continue this conversation. It's so important. And I know that there's been a lot of progress made in the last couple of sessions. I've received follow up emails, follow up messages from some of the people that participated. And I'm happy to see this is going so well and that so many people are giving positive feedback. I just want to start, as always, by saying that I am not a mental health professional. All the advice or insights that I give are from my experience, my story, individuals that I've coached, individuals that I've interacted with. I am not a professional. If you are in crisis, please seek professional help as soon as possible. There's always hope. I care if your light goes out. Please don't give up. We'll be here. We got your back. And I have some exciting giveaways today. This is a first. I haven't done giveaways here on the live stream, but I want to start doing that as another way to give back to the people that are supporting the project that I've been talking about, the mental health project. I know it's a secret and I know it's hard to not want to know all about it. Believe me, it's hard for me to not want to talk all about it. But I want to say that for anyone that makes a donation of $25 or more today here in the chat is going to get, well, the first three are going to get these CBD gummies, a month's supply of CBD gummies. And again, all of the funds go toward mental health outreach project that I have in the works. So I'm very excited. Thank you guys for your love and support. If you want me to see a message, make sure to use the super sticker. I try my best to read all the messages, but sometimes I just get really bombarded because there's so many at once. I try my best, but if it's important or you really, really want me to see it, use the super sticker option. With that being said, how is everybody this week? I had kind of a crazy week. I did my first day in the life of vlog yesterday, as I was talking about the community, and it was kind of crazy because I wasn't thinking it through. I just woke up in the morning and said, you know, I've wanted to do this for a long time. Let's do it. It had a lot of different emotions, a lot of different experiences. So I'm excited to share that. I'm excited for that to go live. Wow, we have so many people in here that are just from all over UK, Croatia, New York. I love it. I love how we have such diversity here on the channel. That means a lot to me because I'm really big on diversity and big on everyone knowing that they are welcome here, that they are loved here, that we do not discriminate. So I want to also share just some good news from around the world because I know we're all bombarded with a lot of crap these days. And I want to share some good news that I was reading. I have this app called Squirrel News. And it's the only news that I really ever look at just because I don't think that anything good comes from watching mainstream media. I think that it's a lot of fear mongering and it's very slanted, and I don't want negative things in my mind all the time if there's nothing I can do about it. Now, if there is something I can do about it, by all means, I want to know, but I'm usually pretty informed by people that know how passionate I am to make a difference. I'll have people message me and say, hey, do you want to go to this rally? Or, hey, have you heard about this? Or, hey, you know, I really do stay up to breast on important issues, but I don't want to be drowning in constant influx of information, if that makes sense. So I want to jump on here on Squirrel News and see what positive stuff I can find to share with you. Hey, we have somebody, Williams here says he's from Seattle, and there is actually news from Seattle that says Seattle's soda tax is effective in decreasing sugar consumption, which is huge. And that's actually huge for mental health because sugar and the way it spikes insulin can really affect anxiety and symptoms of depression, and it can affect the vagus nerve, which is a series of nerves that runs from the base of the brain down into the gut. And if there's inflammation in the vagus nerve, then it can exacerbate symptoms of anxiety and depression. And sugar is a huge inflammatory chemical. Like it's very inflammatory. So it says new evidence suggests that Seattle soda tax is working, and it's working well. After years of inconclusive evidence, a recent study tracked food and drink sales before and after Seattle soda tax was implemented and found significant reductions in sugar consumption. So I just think that's really cool that we're moving in the right direction toward health and wellness, because it's huge. It's huge not only in the mental health world, but it's also huge obviously in the physical health world. It's huge in the in the health realm, as far as taxes and government spending and stuff, because when you have a population that's unhealthy, but then you're paying for all of their medical care. And I have nothing against government aid and stuff, but when people are making unhealthy choices, and then our tax dollars are going to pay for said unhealthy choices through medical bills and stuff for different conditions that could absolutely have been prevented. I mean, this is helping us on a fiscal level too when we're moving toward things like this. So most people don't think about that, but it helps pretty much all the way around when we're moving toward a healthier community and a healthier population. Armed with 3 years of grocery shopping data, researchers found that total sugar sales are down by almost 20%, driven largely by falling soda purchases. So there's some good news for the day. Let's start the day off right. I don't know what time it is there. Let's either start the day off right or in the day right, so we can have something positive in our minds. I hope that you guys can share some good news with me. I had a little bit of a rough week last week, as Bryson, my son, tested positive for COVID. So we were in quarantine. He was at home with me, and I struggled a little bit emotionally getting through that week, because obviously I wanted him to stay caught up on all this stuff, and I really wanted to be there for him mentally. But he was just kind of really clingy, and then I fell behind on my work, so then I started getting stressed out about that, and it was a very challenging week and a very challenging situation to get through, and there were some other things sprinkled in there, personal situations that just made it very, very heavy. So I I'm glad to say that this week is a lot better. I did have a challenging situation yesterday while filming my vlog. I had a doctor's appointment that I wasn't really thinking about when I decided to film the vlog, even though it was very much in the forefront of my mind. And it was quite an emotional experience. I'll give you guys a little sneak peek since you joined me here. I had to have a pelvic ultrasound done just because I've been having some lady issues and needed to have that checked out to make sure that nothing is wrong. And I'm not going to lie, it was insanely traumatic, given the history and the things I went through in conjunction with the miscarriage. It was just a very, very difficult experience mentally, to get through, to the point where the sonographer was, "Are you sure you want me to continue? Are you sure that I can do this?" I'm just get it done. Just finish, please. I don't wanna come back. I don't wanna not have it done and not know that I'm okay. But I'm struggling emotionally, that's all. And I just let her know. I didn't let her know why, but I just said I'm struggling emotionally. And apparently she looked at my chart and she shared with me that she had had 7 miscarriages. She has 3 living children, but she'd had 7 miscarriages. And we just had that moment and held space for each other. And it's actually quite beautiful, that human moment. So I take you guys through that, like through my morning, and then through that a little bit, not in the room. I couldn't take my phone in the room, but talk about that afterwards, and then kind of show you guys how I picked up my pieces afterwards, how I just indulged in some self-care and getting back to base point, back to a place where I could cope. Because it's a huge goal for me in 2022 to start processing the grief and the trauma surrounding the miscarriage, and pregnancy in general. So that was a big goal for me. And step by step, right? One step in the right direction is forward movement. That's what I always say. William says, sugar messes with our parasympathetic nervous systems unless you understand it. Sometimes people have to forego our bodies to help others, such as veterans. I'm I'm in Southern Oregon. I used to live in Boulder where there was a soda tax. It definitely is a detriment. Boulder tax 2 cents per ounce. Wow. Which adds up to about $1.30 for a 2-liter bottle. I think, I mean, I think that this is amazing. I love this idea. I really do think that these things should be taxed. I think that um, I don't think that things like this should be covered on assistance programs like food stamps. I don't think soda and things like that should be covered. I don't believe in big brotherism, but if you're turning to the government for help, they have every right to put common sense restrictions on the aid that they are giving you. So I don't really see a problem with that. Aurora's new album came out today. Oh my god. And I love it. Not necessarily good news worthy. That is good news worthy because it's gonna make a lot of people smile. So definitely good news worthy. Williams, people need good information to make their own decisions or they will get depressed. Yep. West. Hello, can't stay. I have to go to work, but I hope everybody's day is going well. Well, hello. I hope that your day at work goes amazing as well. Robert says, Amanda, you are so correct. I'm a stroke victim and paralyzed for 5 years, gained lots of weight, 348 pounds, but after cutting down big time on sugar, I'm now 180 and feeling awesome and walking normally. Snaps for Robert Rods. That is amazing. I'm proud of you. Congrats. That's awesome. Jack says, been through a few miscarriages with my ex. I feel ya. Hugs from Canada. It's something I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. It's a very difficult situation for all parties involved in most situations. It's very hard to get through. And I know that there's some other people here on the channel, in my Patreon. I know that there's a lot of people that struggle with that. It's something that's way more common than we like to believe, than we like to come to terms with. And it's scary. It's really scary. And it can be very overwhelming. And I'm learning how to process that because I had come to accept that I just didn't want any more kids, that I was okay. And when this happened, it just threw my world upside down, threw my brain upside down. I just started realizing things about myself that I hadn't wanted to admit. So it was very eye-opening. It was a very eye-opening experience. It changed the dynamic of some of the relationships in my life massively, but in the end, for the better. And I think that there's a lot I can learn from it and a lot that I can share with you guys and stuff. I wish it wouldn't have happened, but I'm okay where I'm in now. I just have to process through some of the trauma. And I think that's fine, that I'm aware of that I'm aware that I have to process through the trauma. And the project that I keep alluding to, the special mental health project that the donations and stuff are going toward, that the Patreon's going toward, I really think that it will help people that are going through situations like this. I think it'll help a lot of groups of people that are almost forgotten. There's not a lot of support for women who have early term miscarriages. Usually the support comes from women that have later term miscarriages. And to me, I mean, there's not a difference emotionally because you're bonded. You're bonded either way. It doesn't really matter. If you're bonded, and it doesn't really matter how far along you are. So I just think that that's something we need to be aware of. And I'm adamant about giving support to a lot of these groups that just might not have support, giving them community, giving them validation. That's something that I think that this project is really going to help with. So again, first 3 donations of $25 more here in the chat will get a 30-day supply of vegan CBD gummies. Just my way of wanting to give back, wanting to show how much I appreciate the support for projects like this. It really means the world to me. I really just want to see this whole movement start moving faster in the right direction. I feel like the mental health movement has kind of been stagnant for quite some time, and I want to see it move in the right direction faster. And I think that this is going to make a big difference. The Shack. I'm not religious at the least, but this book can change you. Mark Smith recommends the book The Shack. I will have to look into it. I've never heard of it, but I will see what it's all about. I love to read. So David says, always be a part of who you are. Interestingly enough, for anyone that's watching this that has struggled with miscarriage, when a woman is pregnant, the baby and her share cells, share DNA, and even after a miscarriage or after birth, those cells remain. So the baby is very physically always a part of you. William says, I prefer to ride my bike to the physical wall than to engage in a seafood diet. If I see food, I eat it. I remember my mom making that joke when I was younger. Thanks for the nostalgia. Robert says, Thank you and loves, y'all. And don't give up. We all have a dream, a goal in life. Maybe some of us won't ever get there, but we should never stop trying or fighting on fulfilling our dreams. I think that the the climb, the road, the process is part of the dream. I mean, it's great once you achieve it. Believe me, I've achieved major dreams. I've shot in Playboy. This channel is a big dream of mine. Making this community is a big dream of mine. I have so many major dreams that I have accomplished, and it's awesome. But when I look back, I think, wow, part of the amazing part of that was chasing it, the chase. It was really fun chasing it, and I didn't feel that way necessarily at the time, but looking back, I very much connect to that and recognize that. David says, maybe you can help educate men. I can't begin to know how to process the feeling of feeling another life go inside, plus all the emotions involved. It is something that I want to do just to not only share what I was feeling at the time, but give insight for men on how to handle, because I know that the breakups or divorce rates after pregnancy loss can spike. It's a very major life event that can trigger divorce or breakup just because there's such a disconnect after that, largely because the men often don't know how to emotionally connect with their partner after that, which I can completely understand. I am lucky enough that in the long run that wasn't the case, but up front there was some friction with that, and I'm happy that it worked out. I'm happy that got past that, but it was very challenging, and I understand, and I tried to hold space for that despite my own struggles, to understand that other person has no idea what I'm going through physically or emotionally, and I can only try to educate and try to help and try to give them insight, and I really do hope to do that, so thank you. Nemesis Juggernaut says, "Are you really small or are those headphones really big?" Both. Both. I weigh about 110 pounds. These headphones are pretty enormous. I did have smaller ones, but they kept breaking, so these are reinforced a little bit, and I like them a whole lot more. So David says, "I have severe arthritis and had 2 hip replacements and 1 knee replacement. I'm pushing, dreaming, and walking on all 7 continents, 3 down, 4 to go. You will get the other 4. I know you. I believe in you." I have seen people that lost their arms and still become beautiful painters, or lose their legs and still participate in all of these physically demanding activities, like become swimming champions and stuff. It's crazy what we can do when we stop these limiting beliefs, when we stop believing that we're limited in some way. And it's very easy to get into the mindset. I see it all the time where I have a friend that she's trying to find her physical activity, and it just seems like all of them are, "That's not really for me, that's not really for me," which I understand. I was in that point too, but there is accepting that things aren't always going to be comfortable when you're going through the process of achieving a goal. There's going to be very uncomfortable spots, especially in the beginning. The beginning is the most uncomfortable part of trying to chase a dream, where you're just you're getting off the ground. You're really trying to shift your mindset, and it's fighting you. And that goes away quite a bit after you show it who's boss, and you have consistency, and you don't make excuses. You say, okay, when I commit to this, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it no matter what. And this is my dream, and I'm going to give it my all. And I think at the end of the day, you were saying, keep fighting to fulfill your dreams, never stop, even if you don't get them in the end. Part of it is knowing that you didn't give up, knowing that you gave your best, you gave your absolute best. And I would rather lay down on my bed for that last time at the end of my life saying, you know what? Maybe I didn't get everything I wanted, but I gave it my best, and I had a lot to be grateful for. I had a lot of good experiences along the way. I knew love, I knew friendship, I knew adventure and excitement. I knew all of these things, and I knew those because of the process of chasing these dreams. That came along with the process of chasing these dreams. So I think that there's a lot to be said about the process and the experience, that people just want to get there. And I get it. I get it. Believe me, there are things where I just I don't want to go through the process. I don't want to deal with even thinking about the logistics, pregnancy and things like that. I don't want to think about anything. I just can I just be like the Virgin Mary and it just happens and that's that and then poof. Like, I just there's a part of me that doesn't want to face what happened, and doesn't want to go through the journey and the process. But I've accepted that the journey and the process, whatever they might be, can be can be beautiful too. And I suppose that's because I've learned to accept that emotions aren't ugly or something to be feared or something to be ashamed of. And I struggle with that sometimes. Believe me, there's still days where I have to really tell myself that. But I really accept now that if I do need to cry, if I do need to turn to my partner, if I do need to just fall apart, that's part of the process. And that can be beautiful, just being that raw and that vulnerable. It can be beautiful if you receive love from that, and compassion, which if you're around the right people, you will. If you're around the wrong people, well, get away from them. But I think that the process is so much more valuable than we give it credit for. Uh, David says, many of us men want to help, but we don't always know what to say or when to say nothing and just be there. I, again, am lucky that I have someone who will ask, who will just straight out be, is this one of those times where you just want me to listen or do you need my help right now? And that can speak wonders because while most of the time I don't like people asking, what is it you need from me? Oh my God, that drives me absolutely insane. If I am drowning in my symptoms of whatever I'm going through, I don't want you to ask me what you can do for me because now that's putting stress on me to try and figure that out. When in this case, they're just asking, do you want me to do something and I'll figure that out. I'll figure out what that something is, or do you want me to just listen? That I can answer. So I think that that's a very powerful thing to reflect on, to think about when you're faced with a situation like that, because I know that can be hard for guys because they have that fix it mentality. I saw a piece on a guy who lost both legs and climbed to the top of Mount Everest. Strangers took turns helping to carry him down as he had severe frostbite. Oh my God. That's such a beautiful story. I love when strangers show love like that. I I want to share a story of something small that happened to me once. I will just say in a previous relationship that was very emotionally unstable, bordering emotionally abusive. In retrospect, I was just so suicidal, and the symptoms of depression were at an all-time high. And I had to go to work, and I stopped by to get this breakfast smoothie because I just stormed out of the house. I couldn't be around it anymore. And I panicked and I left the house and I didn't have breakfast. And I'm not a fast food type person. So there's this place that had a breakfast smoothie and I stopped and I'm going through the drive through and I am sobbing in the drive through. I mean, hysterically sobbing, trying to choke out what it is I want. And the person ended up giving me the smoothie for free. And that was just such a small gesture. And she said, I really hope that your day gets better, and I just wanted you to know that I see you and I care about you. And now I'm like crying for a whole different reason, but just that small gesture of being seen and being acknowledged and having my pain recognized was huge to me. And in that case, the stranger or strangers helping this guy that they didn't know achieve his dream is super beautiful. Mark says, I love this live stream. Why did you decide to do this? Most of the crap on the Black Mirror is negative. Well, I don't like the Black Mirror. I decided to do this just because I want people to have the opportunity to come in here and talk about their mental health and just hear someone else talk openly about theirs. I want to acknowledge you guys. I want to see you guys. And I really just want to have as many options available for people as possible. And I really love connecting with you all and hearing your stories. And I know that this is another way to raise donations and stuff for that project, which I'm just so passionate about. I am so stoked to get that out in 2022, that everything I can do to just raise awareness, to push that project forward, to help people, to connect with as many people as possible. There's so many reasons. There's so many reasons I started doing this. And there've been a lot of people asking if I could do live streams to just keep the conversation going. Because that's what this is about, is keeping the conversation going. We have to own our own mental illness for what it is and stay in the fight. Yep. Gratefulness is what helps kill depression. I do a gratitude prompt every single morning. I do this gratitude uh, ritual, and that really helps. I'm not even sure that I like to look at it as an illness anymore. I don't really like the word illness. I'm not triggered by it or anything, but I think that we all have varying varying mental health struggles, and some people talk about it and some people don't. But I don't even think it's really a sickness. It's just kind of normal. I really think that mental struggles are normal, and we've made them out to be abnormal. Now we tell people, oh, well, if you're having symptoms of depression, that's not normal. I remember going to a therapist my after my mom passed away, who was really trying to push medication, and I'm saying, my mom just passed away. Do I not have the right to grieve? It's not like I was doing anything particularly dangerous right off the bat. It was that I wasn't given any skills to cope with it. So eventually I turned to substances and other things to cope. But in the beginning, I didn't have any coping mechanisms, but I wasn't doing anything unhealthy or destructive. But it's just, here's some medication. No, let me grieve my mom. It's normal. It's healthy. Billy says, "What about Asperger's? Life is hard to live for me." That's true, what you say. Yeah, I know several people that have Asperger's that are on the spectrum. And I think that understanding that, again, all of us are on a mental health spectrum. And most people, like, if here's the middle of the mental health spectrum, even though it's different for everybody, there are very few people that are over on this side, on the everything's okay and I'm happy all the time. Those are Buddhist monks, okay? Like, most people are at least somewhere here in the middle, if not further, just because of the society we've cultivated and the lifestyle that we've cultivated. I think understanding that you are worthy and you are loved, and there's nothing wrong with you. You just think differently than other people, and that's a-okay. Like I said, I have friends that have Asperger's, and there's so much positivity I get from being around them, and so much insight I get from being around them that I don't get from anyone else. That I think it's really beautiful. I think embracing the beautiful things that come from the disorders instead of focusing on the negative. I was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, and that means that I'm always going to be more emotional than most people. And a lot of people would look at that as a negative. I used to too, but now I realize that yes, that means that some things hurt more, but it also means that I get more excited about things and I can really experience things at this really intense level on a positive side too. So I try to have more positive experiences. So really looking at the strengths of whatever disorder you have is imperative, in my opinion. Men's natural reactions to fix. Yep. We don't want to hurt our lovely wife. Well, in the case of this, though, I think it's more painful for someone to try and fix it because it can't be fixed. My grief can't be fixed. It's at least in the concept, in the way that you're trying to suggest. There's nothing that you can do or say that's going to make it go away. Absolutely nothing at all. So holding space for me and letting me go through the process that I need to go through, and just validating me and loving me. And if you have some part to contribute to the process, doing that too is huge. Because I get it. I get the desire to fix, but it can't be fixed in the way that most men are trying to do so. Travis says, "My wife and I have been going through the cancer journey since last June. Anna's gone through 20 weeks of chemotherapy. She had a double mastectomy and reconstruction a week ago today." Well, I think we should all take a moment to send Anna some love and some energy, because wow, that's some survivor energy right there. It's survivor personality to go through so much, and still be kicking, still be fighting, still be trying. Let's just send her and you, Travis, some love and energy. Thank you for sharing that. I know that that has to be very hard for both of you. Um, and I really hope that she heals, and I hope that she recovers from this, that this is what she needed to heal and to move forward. I will say that there's a lot to be said about lifestyle. So I would highly suggest looking into that. Oh my gosh, there was a book that I was just introduced to the other day, and I remember the author's name was Chris, but he talks about how he was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, was told that he had practically no time to live, and he initially went through the surgeries that they suggested. It came back. It was very aggressive, and he changed his lifestyle and changed a lot of his nutrition regime and stuff. And literally, he swears he will use the word. He does not. He's not saying went into remission. He says, "I cured my cancer. There is no sign of it now. It's gone. Like they can't find anything, any sign of it." And I'm not saying go against your doctor's orders, but there is a lot to be said on how much lifestyle and what we consume and stuff can have an effect on cancer. So I just really want to suggest that. I can post the name of the book in the community once I remember it. I feel really silly for not being able to remember it, but I haven't read it, so I didn't have too much of an emotional attachment to it. But I'm friends with Lori Bischoff, who does the podcast We're Talking Shift. She's also the wife of Eric Bischoff, the from WCW, who's the former owner of WCW Wrestling. Oh, WCW. I'm sorry, it's World Championship Wrestling. So I just I just doubled wrestling there. That drives me crazy when people do that, like ATM machine. No, it's ATM. Anyway, she interviewed him on her podcast. So if you want to go check out her podcast, she interviewed him on there, and he talked a lot about his process and what he went through and his story and what he did to fight back against cancer in a natural way. And I don't think there's anything wrong with going the chemotherapy way. I don't think there's anything wrong with going the natural way. I don't think there's anything wrong with blending them. I say you know what's best for your journey, and I'm just all for tipping the scales as much as possible. I was 4 when I told my mom that if I jumped off this bridge, all my troubles would end. 50 now, and those thoughts are still with me. I'm sorry, Jeff, that you've lived with that for so long. I know that I was pretty young, not quite that young, but I was pretty young when I started having thoughts like that as well. And they didn't stop until a couple years ago. And I know I look young, but I'm not as young as most people assume. I won't give my exact age, but I'm not as young as most people assume. Um, I would not be happy if you did that. I would be heartbroken, and it wouldn't end your troubles. I think that that's a misconception. We have no idea what happens after this. We don't know if there's something else or not. Uh, and we have no idea what losing our life in that way would lead to. Maybe there's still lessons that we have to learn. If reincarnation is a thing, maybe there's lessons we still have to learn, and then we have to come back and do it all over again. Maybe there is an afterlife and we don't know what would be the repercussions there. And if there's nothing at all, then we're not getting rid of the pain, we're just transferring it. And it's better, in my opinion, to find a way to make the pain go away in a healthy manner instead of going that route. But I definitely, as a survivor, understand what it's like when you just hurt so much that you don't want to do it anymore. And I get that, Jeff. I understand that it's very, very heartbreaking and crippling to feel like there's no other way out. But I promise you, I promise you that there are other ways to stop the pain and to make troubles end. I mean, everybody has troubles, so not all of your troubles, but the things that are afflicting you the most. I just want you to know that there are other ways, and we all care here if your light goes out. And it's never too late. I've seen people heal themselves at 40, 50, 60, 70. It's never too late to start your healing journey and to get help. Hey y'all, hopefully once we all get to know each other better, we should choose a place so we can have a group reunion and like do a picnic somewhere. I love this group. I feel like at home here. Oh, Robert, thank you. Well, the secret project I'm talking about, that I keep alluding to is going to be able to facilitate that. That's going to be able to give us a better way to be in a community together where we can check in on each other and reach out to each other. I can't give too much away. I want to so bad, but all of the donations are going to go toward that, and it's going to help have a community where we can stay caught up on each other and where we can really help each other and support each other and be connected with each other, be connected with people we need to be connected to. So CBD Gummy is still up for grabs. First 3 donations. I just I'm also really excited because there's been some celebrities that are grabbing my merch, and that's just crazy to me that there's gonna be celebrities and authors and stuff walking around in my merch. Little secret, I actually wanted to be a fashion designer for a long time, and I went through a semester in school, in college for fashion design and a semester for natural resource management. And I ended up dropping out to chase who ended up being my son's father. We didn't have him at the time, but the guy that ended up being my son's father, I ended up chasing him and dropped out of college. Oh, weird decisions that we make in life, right? But it's just very exciting to me to be able to design something to keep that dream alive in some small way. So I've been posting pictures over in the community that people have been sending of themselves in the merch, and it just makes me so happy. But to see celebrities also sporting it is just really, really cool. But that's a great idea, Robert, and believe me, I'm one step ahead of you. Yep. Nemesis is right. If you jumped off a bridge, the world would lose a light. That's what she should have said. Yeah, it would. It would absolutely lose your light, and we want to keep your light here and shining, and we will help you, and we got your back. I love to see you guys offering each other connection and offering to reach out and hold space for each other and stay connected to each other. That is beautiful. Thank you for that. That's exactly what I was hoping for with this community. Alan says, I've struggled with anxiety, depression, low self esteem for many years, yet I'm still here. I guess that makes me resilient in some ways. Heck yes, it does. Good for you. I'm proud of you. It does. It very much does. Hard to see that in the darkest times. Yeah, it absolutely is. It absolutely is hard to see sometimes. But like you said, you're resilient and you're still here. And for me, it's making deposits in the happiness bank when I can, when I do have the energy. So that way, when I do have bad days, they're not all consuming and they're not going to knock me down. Do you guys want me to make a video about at the happiness bank? I know I mentioned that a lot, and I just realized y'all probably have no idea what I'm talking about. Do I need to make a video about the concept of that just to kind of explain it better? Let me know here in the comments. I'm getting a lot of thank yous for responding to comments and stuff. Absolutely, I try to respond to my comments as much as possible. It's really important to me that everyone feels seen. That's actually somebody asked me once what my mission in life was, and I said I just want every single person that I come in contact with to know that they are seen. I don't want anyone to feel invisible because I know what that feels like. So that is my goal. I know 7 people now who have been healed of cancer by graviola tea extract, also known as soursop. I'm gonna have to look into that. That's really cool. Meatloaf passed away last night. What? Oh my gosh. I did not know that. Well, rest in peace. That's shocking. We've been losing a lot of people in the last few weeks. I hope that he finds peace on the other side. Whatever that means. I don't know what that means, but whatever's out there, I hope that it's peaceful. Hello, Kyle. Welcome. Well, Kyle says he's new to the channel, currently going through a separation from my wife of 10 years. Found your videos while looking for advice. Past few days have been hard for me. You've helped me. I'm not gonna cry today. I'm not gonna cry today. I'm not gonna cry today. Thank you. That means the world to me. I know how hard it is. I wasn't married as long as you were, but I know that it's very difficult. It's a very difficult process to go through. And I know firsthand we can do it. We can. We absolutely can. We can do it. We can get through it and we can be better because of it, but that doesn't make it any easier while we're going through it. I'm glad that my videos have helped in some way. I'm glad that just sharing my experience and letting people know that it's not easy, but we can find happy moments. We can find things to be grateful for, even when we're struggling, and just connecting with that can really help. Honoring. My ex and I may or may not continue a friendship after the separation and divorce. If we don't, I don't blame him. But I I really am grateful for the things that I learned. I'm grateful for the the time that we spent together and the good times that we did have, and I honor that the best I can now. I didn't make the best decisions when we were together. I wasn't in a good place mentally, but I'm grateful for what he did give me. I'm grateful for how much growth I went through. I'm grateful that now I know what I will accept and what I won't, my boundaries. I learned so much about myself, and it was a brutal, brutal, brutal process, but necessary. And I'm finding genuine, genuine happiness now, sustainable, genuine, lasting, I believe, lasting happiness at this point. So it's not impossible, not impossible at all. David says, I can't wait for the big secret reveal. I want to found out about Amanda's big dream. Yes, I want to tell you so bad, but I was told that I can't by the people that are helping me with it, because it is taking a team. That's why I've been adamant about pushing the Patreon, pushing for donations and stuff, because it does take a team. It's not something I could do by myself because it's that huge, it's that big, and I'm exploding inside. I really am, because there's just so much that's gonna happen in 2022 and so much growth, and we're gonna help so many people, guys. We really are. We're gonna help so many people. And this project is going to be international. It's going to be worldwide. And I believe from the bottom of my heart that it's going to make a huge difference in the mental health community. It's going to fill in gaps. No, not you, David. It's not going to fill you in, but David Gaps is here in the chat. It's going to fill in the gaps in the mental health community that we're really needing. That was my goal. That's my aim. So Travis says, Jeff, I'm the same way. I have those same thoughts. Just know that you're not alone. If things get hard, reach out. That's what we're here for. Yep. I love you so much, guys. If you're struggling or have struggled with mental health, you are still here. You're definitely resilient. Truth. Robert says, awesome, girl. Plus, I'm getting my Amanda tie-dye next month. Deadhead here. You have to send me a picture. If any of you guys get the merch, the link is in the community here. If any of you guys get my merch, you have to send me pictures. It makes me so giddy to see people wearing it. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. I just want a video of Amanda's happy bank dancing. Happy Amanda fills all our banks. Well, you will be happy. With the vlog that I'm posting. Oh my gosh, guys. I also have to share, speaking of being resilient. So, one major lesson I've learned is that when we ask for patience, per se, or anything else, when we ask the universe to give us something, like give us more patience, give us more strength, you know what the universe does? It gives us opportunities to be patient. And patience has kind of been my mantra, my word for the past few weeks. So I did all this filming yesterday to do this vlog, and I was super excited about it. It was a little bit of a struggle to be on my phone that much, but I had a lot of fun with it. And there's gonna be some dancing, David. There's gonna be some crazy happy Amanda parts in there, and some struggling Amanda too. But so I shot it on my phone, and I'm trying to get the files off my phone. Well, the jack on my phone is broken. So it is not transferring the files properly. It took me 4 hours to get all of the files off of my phone and onto the computer so I could start piecing them together. And well, thanks universe. Thank you for that. Thanks for giving me that opportunity to be patient. I appreciate it. That's sometimes what we get, when we ask for something, we'll have an opportunity to get it. That's how that works. Dennis asked how I'm doing. I am a fabulous, or as Big A Al would say, I'm super. Thanks for asking. Ed Sport from the room below, getting some recommendations in here. You guys ever notice that? Um, that you'll ask for something that you really want something and you're just bombarded with opportunities to do that. And I mean, some people might say God, some people might say universe. I prefer to say universe, but I just think that we're presented with opportunities because that's what it's about. Casper says universe has nothing to do with your mental health. It's all dependent on you, your action, your choice. You have made the road for yourself. I agree. I'm not saying that it's all just fate and we have no control. We absolutely have control. I am a person that I will pound it into your head all day long. You have so much more power than the symptoms of depression will let you believe. You have so much more that you can control than the symptoms of depression will let you believe. There's so many decisions and choices that you can make that can really move you in the right direction or slow you down. I simply think that on a quantum physics level, there is an energy transference. And when we're putting out the energy of, I want this, I need this, it is going to bring energy back to us. Sorry, I don't mean to keep hitting that. It's going to keep bringing energy back to us in various ways. I very much believe in the law of attraction. I very, very, very much do. Uh, Everyone's saying hi, hello. Hello, we still have those 3 bottles of vegan CBD gummies for anyone that wants to support the secret project. If you are not watching this live, I obviously will link ways that you can do that as well below. The giveaway is specifically for this chat for today, but if you are wanting to support the cause, support the project, support moving us forward in the mental health community, I will link my Patreon as well as other ways to support in the description here, so you could still check that out. I don't want to start an argument, but I want to point out that that's victim blaming for a lot of people who have mental health issues due to abuse and trauma. Are you starting an argument with me or with somebody else here? I don't understand. I feel like if I'm victim blaming, I didn't mean to. Uh I didn't mean to spin anything in the way of victim blaming. I don't necessarily believe in the word victim though. I was subjected to abuse, sexual abuse, physical abuse, massive amounts of trauma, and I don't consider myself a victim. I consider myself a survivor. So just as someone that's went through that, I don't like to have a victim mentality at all. So if I did say something that you felt was that way, thank you for pointing that. Oh, okay, you were responding to someone else. I'm very big on trying to keep a positive uh, conversation going. I will say that um, I'm not always politically correct. I will warn you guys that I'm not always politically correct. Sometimes I offend people, offend. And I don't mean to. I don't go out of my way to do it. But for example, I got in trouble because I say that I'm a recovered addict. And many people in that community will say, no, you're in recovery. And I said, no, I feel that I'm recovered and I can refer to myself however I want. I didn't go through a 12-step program. I don't agree with many of the tenets of the 12-step program just on my own personal journey. I know they help a lot of people and I support that. On my own personal journey, they weren't what I needed. So I very much believe that we have power, we're in control, but I do think that there is energy out there too. But there's a lot of languaging that I use that people might not like. I will say also in the recovery community, people don't like to use the word when someone's dirty or someone's not clean. That's apparently not acceptable now. I do use those words when referring to my own story. If somebody asks me not to use that in reference to their story, I'm more than happy to comply. But in my story, I do use terms like that. And that's just my preference. And that's just the way I want to narrate my story. Story time. I've been lucky to travel to several countries. I've learned that if you are kind, appreciative, and polite, people all over want to help. Human nature is to help and care for each other. I could not figure out how to use the laundromat in Lyon, France, and had to ask an elderly gentleman for help. Je veux nettoyer mes vêtements, s'il vous plaît. Peut-être vous pouvez m'aider. Just kidding. Ça ne marche pas. Aidez-moi, aidez-moi. But no, you're right. He's very friendly and took time out of his day to help. There are mean people. There very much are. Or there are people that are just ignorant and don't, and I don't mean ignorant in a mean way. I mean ignorant as in they don't understand another person's struggles. And sometimes that can scare them. So they push away or they might lash out. That's their process and their journey. There are countless numbers of people that want to help you, that want to support you, that you could walk out the street right now, and if you went up to 20 strangers and said, "Look, I'm really, really struggling with my mental health right now," the majority of them would be willing to help you. And I understand what it's like to be surrounded by people that don't understand and that won't. And you kind of start getting into the mindset of, I've reached out to so many people and they've all rejected me. That's because we tend to surround ourselves with the same type of people. And if we're not careful, we don't break out of that archetype. And eventually we're surrounded with people who don't understand, and we think that those people encompass everyone else's opinions, experiences, and kindness or lack thereof. It's not true. There are countless people willing to help. Just look here in the chat. I knew the channel. I found you through your music commentaries, which is pretty cool. How did you get into discover metal music as a music which deals with mental health issues? Actually, one of my Patreons had recommended a song. My Patreons get priority song requests, and they had requested a song, and I just started falling down that rabbit hole. I had never really listened to a lot of metal. I listened to new metal because I listened to Linkin Park, but I never listened to a lot of metal, especially the classics and stuff. And I really started connecting to it from there. And I don't listen to a whole lot of it on my own. I will say that there's some songs I've listened to on the channel that I go back and listen to. I don't seek out new stuff because I kind of want to share that with you guys. But I do listen to some of these songs that I react to repeatedly because they really do help. I just think it depends on what we need, what we're needing in that moment, whether we're needing connection, whether we're needing validation, whether we're needing something to cheer us up. I have all kinds of music. I have this bad day playlist, or I call it the Raise the Vibes playlist, that has all these different videos and songs and things. Some of them are meant to validate, so they might be kind of somber and melancholy, and some of them are meant to inspire, and they're very upbeat and happier. It really just depends on where I'm at and what I'm needing. I was apparently in a relationship that was bad for me without noticing my girlfriend was struggling with her mental health, but for me, supporting her was dragged down and currently struggling. That can be really challenging. I know a couple people, one of my closer friends is like that, uh, that he realized one morning that he was drowning. And I liken that. I was in an emotionally abusive relationship, like I said, several, in fact. And it's like a drip that you notice the dripping of water over time. You notice, oh, that's not healthy, or that's probably a red flag, but you just let it go because it's just a drip, right? Then you wake up one morning and realize you're drowning, and it's a challenging situation to be in, but not impossible to swim to shore, especially once you have the awareness necessary that you weren't in a healthy situation. And it does do damage to your mental health, to your self-esteem, to your self-worth. It does, it absolutely does. And there's not a lot that you can do, simply because you've already went through it, so it's already done its damage. So now it's a matter of, how do I repair that damage? And I'm going to be making some videos on that. I have touched on it, I have talked about it, but I'm going to be making videos specifically for improving your self-esteem and stuff once you've been through those uh, types of situations. I I did I did make a video that's affirmations for self-esteem and self-confidence in the meantime, if that helps. This is, I have to say that I can't stop looking at your wolf carpet. It's amazing and peaceful. I'm losing myself in it. I need one now. I love it. It was a Christmas gift. I love it so much. I usually have my wolf yoga mat in here too, but I did yoga downstairs last night so that I could film it as part of my vlog. I just gave away more. I'm doing a 30-day yoga challenge over on the Yoga with Adrienne channel right now. So, uh, yeah, I usually have a yoga mat, sometimes two, if Aaron comes over to do yoga with me. So it's just wolfception. It's wolves on wolves with wolves everywhere. I love wolves. Can you tell? I maybe can somebody find me wolf ears? I need wolf headset ears. We are coming down into the last 5 to 10 minutes here. Just want to let you guys know if anybody else wants to ask a question or make a donation. I would super, super appreciate it. Still got those 3 CBD gummies up for grabs for each person that makes the donation. Or if you have any questions that you want to ask before I leave related to mental health, I will be here every Friday. I promise. I'm not going anywhere. I'll be every Friday. Have several videos that are releasing. I have something really cool for you guys next week. Patreons, those of you that are in here, you already know about my special guest that I have next week that's coming on for a reaction with me. So lots of goodies, lots of surprises, lots of stuff. I love it. I just love having so many things to get excited about. Thank you for everyone that's saying that they loved the hailstorm reaction. Thanks. Thank you. Thank you so much. Amanda, not the only one pulling out a second language. I have no idea what she's typed. No clue. Nope. It is just something new for me as mental health is not apparent or talked about. Well, we are changing that, Casper. We are changing that. We are going to talk about it, and we're going to hold space to talk about it. I don't know if you want to go back and look. I did an interview with Christian Burns, who, by the way, was one of my teenage crushes. He was in the band BB Mac, which I was really obsessed with in my teen years, and I did an interview with him on the channel. I tried really hard not to fangirl, but he talks about mental health in men and how he really took a hit with his mental health at the height of his fame, at the height of his career, and they were really, really, really popular back in the 90s. So maybe check that interview out. I'm still staring at the background to psychoanalyze. Amanda, stop it! No. There's so much to psychoanalyze. Please let me know. I feel like there's so much to psychoanalyze in my surroundings. Oh goodness, I want this analysis at the end. Maria says, "Hi, Amanda. I'm from Mexico. I back with the girl who make me feel bad and hurt myself because I love her and she understands the wrong and nasty things that she do to me. I'm sorry that you're going through that. You don't deserve that. You deserve to be loved. You deserve to be with someone who respects you. And she does understand, doesn't mean that she's going to try and change it. I mean, self-awareness is important, but doesn't mean she's going to try to change it. And I understand that you love her, but sometimes, and I realized this with my ex when I was married, I realized that the most loving thing I could do for myself and for him was to divorce him. And that's not talked about. That's something that people just don't process in their brains. They don't understand that sometimes the most loving thing that you can do isn't to be with somebody, especially if they're hurting you physically or emotionally. You can love them, but that doesn't mean you have to be with them. I will sometimes tell my son when he's acting in an inappropriate way, I'll say, you know what? I'm going to love you from the other room right now because I deserve to be treated with respect and love. And I understand that right now you're struggling. So when you're ready to love me in a way that I understand, I'll be in the other room. And sometimes you have to do that with adults as well and say, I'm going to love you from here. And when you're ready to love me in the way that I deserve to be loved, then I will be there for you. But if you're not, then I'm just going to have to keep loving you from afar. The stuffed animal is happy today. Yes. Yes, she is. She is happy today. I'm glad. That's funny that David noticed that. So for you guys that don't know what he's talking about, she could be happy or she could be grumpy. Oh, grumpy fish. So there's no particular rhyme or reason yet on whether she's happy or sad, but I think I need to figure something out. I think you guys are so amazing. I'm so happy I decided to start doing this. I'm so happy to have your love and support. I'm so happy that you guys are finding community and being there for each other. Oh, it makes me so happy. Happy, happy, happy. I am feeling better, Warmers. Thank you. Whenever you dream on holding that key that will open them doors that'll let you free. Something I heard RJ Dio state that in a concert. These words helped me a lot. Oh, look, people are already scheduling drinks with each other on here. What? Y'all are gonna go have drinks? Get me some kind of non-alcoholic. What kind of non-alcoholics alcohol is good? I don't know. I don't think I've ever had a good non-alcoholic wine or anything like that. Just give me some juice and call it a day. Sebastian says, so appreciate what you just said about loving from the other room, what I needed right now. Yeah, it's something a lot of people need right now. And I say that, and I just want to also uh, expand on that, that sometimes loving somebody from afar doesn't mean keeping them in your life. There are exes that I will send all the love in the world to, but I know that they're not good to have in my life. And again, if they were willing to love me even as a friend in a way that I wanted to like deserve to be loved, then I would consider opening the door for friendship. But if they're not, then well, I don't have time for that anymore. I don't have energy for that kind of thing anymore. My German Shepherd has 4 moods: happy, derpy, grumpy, and angry. I feel like that's every dog ever. Happy, derpy, grumpy, and angry. I wonder if I'm like that. I like that it's grumpy and angry. It just I imagine the like really happy, then the really like and then kind of and then the full on barking and I love it. Thanks to that visual. Just watched several of the reaction videos. Really enjoy all the content. All seem to be about the actual struggle. I miss NIM. I sing with a more positive. Yes, I overcame focus. Yes, there's quite a few actually uplifting ones. Thank you for asking that. I mean, um, I have Devin when I did Devin. Townsend, is it Devin Townsend? I believe. I just remember Devin because everybody calls him Debbie. Spirits Collide. I did a Tenacious D one that's really funny. I did a couple of Sia ones that were really big. Skyscraper by Demi Lovato is about overcoming. Yeah, there's actually quite a few positive upbeat ones. Guys, if you think of any more, those are just the ones I thought of off the top of my head. If you guys can think of any more to suggest Ed here, please do so. The one that I did with Jamie Bennington, the Disturbed one, Reason to Fight. That one is pretty uplifting. So I know that it can seem like I just always do the sad ones, but I try and balance it out pretty good. And I think most of the ones like Love Bites, I just did another BTS. I haven't posted it yet. It hasn't went live yet, but I did another BTS. BTS is really upbeat. So yeah, there's definitely some upbeat ones here on the channel. I have a song that I think you might like. It's been a huge lift me up when I need it. Cataclysm Iron Will. I like watching Amanda watching Mudvayne's Not Falling. That one was pretty, yeah, that one was pretty good too. I feel like I get so much energy from doing this. I just feel so built up now. So thank you for that. Thank you for all the positive energy. I'm going to film another reaction right now for all the home fries out there. I'm going to go watch Scream, the new Scream movie tonight with a friend of mine who has a shadow that loves my shadow. Our shadows love each other. But every now and then, I think it's just important to kind of express that side of ourselves in a healthy way. And for me, I'm very choosy about movies that I watch because I don't like anything that's too gory or anything, but I like slasher movies. Slasher movies are definitely a little guilty pleasure for me. All right, it's a couple more minutes. We are winding down. And then I gotta go eat. I'm hungry, and I'll film another reaction. And I will have, hopefully, unless there's any more technical difficulties, have the vlog up this weekend. So, so I'm excited to share that. It's something that I've been really wanting to do for a long time, one of those day in the life of vlogs. I've always wanted to do one. So please make sure to show it love and share it, because I want to make more content like that. I love doing the reactions, but I also really love doing vlogs and making content that's more personal. So please, if you like it, if you watch, or even if you don't like it, just give me feedback. Let me know what you like, what you don't like. Make sure to check it out, because it's very special to me, and I'm very excited to be doing it. Warmer says scary movies are awesome. Okay, I know that my time's up, and I just don't want to leave. I just don't want to leave you. I love you all. Keep in mind that that these do appear on the channel, so you can leave comments. If I didn't see a comment of yours, you can always leave that on the video. I will check it out. You can email me, you can message me anytime. So please know that I am here. Thank you for all of your love. Thank you for all of your support. Thank you for all of it, your stories, sharing. I know that it's not always easy, but we're in a safe place here that we can all just be real and cry and yell and do whatever we need and laugh and dance like crazy blonde white girls with kitty headphones. Like, oh yeah. I feel like maybe I need to react to an NSYNC song or something on here. Not that there's one that I haven't heard approximately 4,648,000 times, but I feel like just reacting to one and getting y'all, letting you all watch me fangirl like a 13-year-old would probably be a little fun. You okay, Leslie? I was a little late too, so no biggie. Matthew says 31 years and counting. I'm still here. Ah, proud of you. Proud of you. Proud of you. Proud of you. Thank you, Travis, for the $5. I appreciate it so much. It really helps. Every little tiny bit helps for getting this project off the ground, for getting this huge project off the ground. I appreciate it so much. It means everything to me that you guys support me and believe in me. So I love you. Amanda and all you, my brothers and sisters, y'all just make my life and days a lot better and a lot happier. Y'all make me cry, and I love that you say y'all, because I grew up in Missouri, so I'm definitely y'all type gal. Y'all too, y'all too. I definitely talk like Jeff Foxworthy. So welcome to all the newbies. Sorry we are checking out, but if you came in late, you still wanted to say something, or if I didn't see your comment, like I said, leave it here in in the comments. This will be posted as a video on the channel. I will see you next Friday, or I'll see you here on the channel. Let me know how your week goes. Check in, and I love you all so much. I love you. Mwah.